Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hotline Topics. Lizzie Anjorin had earlier come out to address the issue of her husband's alleged ex-wife, who said that the husband had abandoned the three kids for her. Fola had earlier come out to say that she has three kids for Mr. Lawal and he has not been taking care of them financially, a claim Lizzie refuted and also went ahead to give a lengthy narration of previous events. As Nigerians had been calling Lizzie's husband out and saying he's not taking care of his kids. And Lizzie said, when you see Mr. Lawal, you think he's gentle. He's not gentle. Mr. Lawal was supposed to be sending money to Fola via the lawyer, but he was rather sending it directly to Fola. Fola is the name of the alleged ex-wife, which Lizzie says that was never married to Mr. Lawal. It was only one time that Mr. Lawal sent money via the lawyer to Fola. Fola's kids' name are on my will so they can have equal rights with my own children. But I'm changing everything now since Fola did this. I just wanted everybody to be fine. I'm not saying because I'm the legal wife so nothing can happen in the future. But as a woman, you should have something going on for you. So that at least if anything happens, it won't shock you. What is happening now is that Mr. Lawal cannot take care of the three kids anymore. They are not his kids. So he can't take care of them anymore. That is the issue now. And if Mr. Lawal is the father of the three kids, let her bring the kids for DNA tests and I'll arrange money for her to do her own test as well. So it won't be as if the results were manipulated. So she can do it somewhere else to confirm the test results. Not all the three kids are for Mr. Lawal. She brought the kids to marry him and he accepted them. I'm not an evil person. Mr. Lawal's first child does not even leave my sight. 5 years ago, I still took them all out to watch the movie Kofotinubu. I was at the naming ceremony of the younger one, who will be 11 years old this year, where I spent generously. Even Alaji's wife that time helped me to close my button that day and asked people, I'm not a bad person. I love kids. I believe in my women even more than I believe in men. So it is not because of a man that I'll be fighting anyone. A man can leave anytime. Even if I had used Kayamata for Mr. Lawal, he wouldn't have sent any money to Fola, all the money that he has been sending to her. I also have my responsibilities, so I could have stopped him, but I never did. This is the advice I have for women. Regardless of whatever happens, or the name that anyone calls you, once your mind is pure with God, don't worry, make sure you walk. Some people, if misunderstanding comes, someone will take back all he had bought for you. All a woman has worked for by herself is hers, so make sure you work hard. After Fola completes the DNA test, and the test result reveals all the kids are not from Mr. Lawal, where would she put her face? If she had only dragged Mr. Lawal, I wouldn't have come out to talk or even ask for the DNA test because all the kids they bring, I will be their mother. But the man is the father to all. Men don't even remember themselves, not to talk of children. So this is part of what she said in the video. And the earlier part of the video, she has stated that Mr. Lawal is not a gigolo, as he's a man who has his own businesses. And in her words, if you come for my husband, you come for me. My husband will not address anything. I'm his spokesperson. For Latinubu, my question is, did you collect money, yes or no? If you collected 300,000 in January in this Nigeria of today, that person has done well. A few days ago, Fola collected 220,000 naira. And these are the evidences. Fola said she was homeless. Alaji called the landlord this morning and this was what he said. He said if anyone calls me to ask if she had paid rent, I should tell the person that she had not paid rent. And I said, why should I lie? I'm an old man. I also asked her where she was and she said she was with her parents. And I said, okay. Also, this story came out because Fola Tinubu, the alleged ex-wife of Lizzie Anjorin's husband, took the story to Gist Lovers blog asking for help, that she has been indebted. She doesn't have money for rent, money for food, money for anything. She needs money badly. Lizzie also added in the video that Gist Lovers fans are nice people. They do donate a lot of money to people with needs. But we should not take advantage of their goodness. Fola only wanted to take advantage of Gist Lovers, even if he wanted to attack him. You should have referred to him directly. I'm not saying it is me that Lizzie snatched her husband. Mr. Lawal never married you at any time. The pictures you keep circulating were pictures taken when you were honored with the title. You presented 3 kids, that you bought 3 kids for my husband. The DNA test forms are all ready and the lawyer is going to call you. On Thursday, bring the 3 kids for DNA test. Also call me when you're there so that I can give you money for another DNA test. If all the 3 kids are not for Mr. Lawal, I promise Fola we will do something about it and reach an agreement. But if it is only 1 or 2 out of those 3 kids, I promise you we will have a big problem. We are going to fight. Mr. Lawal is not a gigolo. Gigolo is the man that crossed his legs and refused to do anything and just spending the woman's money and eating her food. Mr. Lawal himself has three car lots within Lekki Phase 1 to Abraham Adesonya. Go and ask Well. If you want to buy a car, sell a car, or swap, the name of the company is Adelat Autos. They also have a car wash. If you get to the car wash, you see him working vigorously. You can ask anyone. If you go to Owode Oniri, Mr. Lawal was there hustling despite the fact that he has three car lots. Mr. Lawal is not a bad person and he's not a flirt. I left home close to 2 months and I have three housemates, or four if you include Arike. Mr. Lawal is decent to the extent that he can't ask anyone of them out. But having a good heart is what led him to you. A man can take you in and be with you with kids, and he also took you from boys' quarter to a house of 120,000 naira. That person is a very good person. For last kids' names are on my wedding certificate. They are also in my will. Arike's kids are also there. And any kid that my husband and I give birth to, all the kids we will adopt them and they will all be treated equally. Fola, I'm working and you're collecting the money, but you're not utilizing it well. You collect and you rather go to parties. If you don't take these kids for the DNA test, I will come online to tell everyone. Those three kids are not for Mr. Lawal. This was part of what she said in the video. So according to Lizzie Anjorin, contrary to what the lady who is alleged to be the ex-wife of Lizzie Anjorin, contrary to what she said, they were never married. Lizzie Anjorin's husband rather took her in and helped her with her kids and they were in a relationship. And she is saying that not all the three kids are from Mr. Lawal. Lizzie is also saying that contrary to what Fola is saying, they are providing for her financially and they've also paid the rent, contrary to what she said. So this is Lizzie Anjorin's explanation of the story that has been making rounds on social media platforms. Also, the news of Lizzie Anjorin's husband having another woman and kids was circulating online right after Lizzie Anjorin got married to her husband in July 2020. And the news was stated there that Lizzie Anjorin's husband was married to four women and he has several kids, which Lizzie came out to debunk. And in Lizzie's words, my husband doesn't have the strength to keep two wives, not to talk of six. That was why I was staying alone in an apartment. I stayed to counter all the lies surrounding my recent marriage to my lovely husband. Being a public figure, I should have to live by example. As such, be conscious, mindful, and careful of what I do. But notwithstanding, it doesn't mean I have to cowardly ignore all ill statements being circulated on social media. I have first and foremost been very good friends to my husband for a whole 14 years. This means that I know all his activities, whom and who he has dated and been with. Which doesn't define valid and legal marriage under the Act. She also went on to address the photos of the alleged wives of her husband that had surfaced on social media. And she said that it was a campaign by detractors to ruin her name. So this was Lizzie Anjorin's explanation back then. We have come to the end of this episode where Lizzie Anjorin comes out to debunk the story that has been circulating on social media platforms. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for our daily content.